Yo, what's up guys? We're back with another video. I'm Akiva, the host of Mini Lane Talk Show. I'm here with a special guest, JP.
Yes, sir.
We got a karaoke and trivia about some Jewish law, so let's get into it. So we have a couple questions. Our first one being, what is the Torah? Because there's a couple misconceptions. You want to explain?
So the basic of the Torah is a book of guidance, and it's eternal. So the book is like forever. The Torah is forever.
Oh, so it's like a guideline for us forever, for all of eternity?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And there's also some misconceptions. What, like, is it a history book?
No, it's not a history book because it's a proportion. The history book is proportional. The Torah is really straightforward.
Right. Like I heard that it goes like in the first 11 chapters it goes over 81% of all of it. So I guess that makes sense. But also, why is like of Abraham? Why is the first 75 years of his life not mentioned?
Because if God really wanted to mention all the good things that Abram did in 75 years, then us of Jews would like feel bad about ourselves, and like we'll feel like we're not as great as Abram. So just by God choosing us like makes us great. And that's something crazy.
Yeah, sorry for that. That was just a interruption. Won't happen again, hopefully. But another misconception that there is that I've heard about Judaism is that there's what tree did Adam and Chava really eat from? Because there's a couple of different ones.
So there was four fruits that in Judaism has like a chance to be it. So like the four ones are figs, grape, etrog, and wheat stalk.
So who holds these opinions and what are they?
So Rabbi Meir holds opinion on grape. He's like, so he thinks the tree was a grape tree because when grape is made to make wine, and due to wine many people get drunk from it, so that's why he thinks he sinned.
Like they sin when they're drunk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so another conception is that Rabbi Nehemiah said that it was figs, which was he tried putting clothes on, so he thought it was a fig tree. But another.
What do you mean he put like they sinned and then they put the clothes? Oh, okay. They realized they were naked. Okay.
And then another, which was Rabbi Yehuda, he thinks it was a stalk of tree, and it wasn't really a tall tree. But when you eat the stalk of wheat, your knowledge becomes higher. So as you eat bread and stuff like that, you become smarter. So that's what Rabbi Yehuda says.
Isn't there one more, I think?
Yeah, so the etrog, there was an etrog, and it doesn't really have a rabbi to it, but is it the Torah?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not Jewish.
So basically the etrog tastes exactly the same way as a tree tasted like. So that's why they get another theory that it could be an etrog.
Oh, thank you. Why is it that the Torah doesn't say what type of tree it was?
So number one, every time you would eat from that tree, let's say it was a fig tree, every time you would eat from that fig tree, you would think of the sin that Adam and Chava did. And that would really embarrass both of them due to the big sin that they did.
That really shows how much the Torah goes out of its way to not embarrass people, you know? Mm-hmm. But also, why
it's my turn to ask some questions. So why I heard the Christians thinks it's an apple. Why is that?
Because the root word for apple and evil are the same in Latin. Therefore, they since it's a tree of life, knowledge, good and evil, they thought that it was an apple tree.
I heard by the burning bush, God revealed himself to Moshe. So why during the tree of knowledge didn't God reveal himself?
Actually, it was a thorn bush the burning bush was a thorn bush, and the reason that Hashem revealed it was because thorns symbolize pain and suffering, and Hashem told Moshe that through thick and thin, Hashem will always be there through the suffering. So he just wanted to show us that we're never alone through the bad times.
Alright, so where does matzah come from?
Well, Hashem, the Jews were leaving Egypt, and they didn't have enough time to bake bread, so Hashem commanded them to bake matzah.
Can you tell me more about matzah?
Yeah, so in some Pesukim, in earlier Pesukim, it says that Hashem told us to slaughter the sheep and eat the sheep with matzah. So it seems like this was already planned for. So how was it already planned for or not? So some Pesukim say it was, and some say it wasn't. But Avudraham says it was for the future. And since Hashem knows the future, he knows that the Jews would have to leave Mitzrayim, and that even though the Jews wanted to cook bread, they wouldn't have enough time for it. So what message is Hashem showing? Is Hashem showing us that the Jews were on a very low spiritual level, and since the spiritual world and physical world are mirror each other, and the Jews were in a very low spiritual state, that we had to get ourselves out of it, and the way that we can break free was through humility and to be humble and to lower our egos. And one way to do that is the matzah. This matzah is poor man's bread in it, and it really symbolizes low ego and humility, so it can get us out on a higher spiritual level. But some people ask, how do we suddenly just get out of this low level? And that's why Hashem revealed himself so abruptly, because we needed his help to get out.
So our next topic is, what is the misconception with the luchot?
The misconception is that it's rounded at the top.
And
you want to know where it came from?
Yeah, where does it come from?
Should have said that. It came from the Christians, in Europe. They it was they were strict about. Actually, they put on the stamps, so it was it became commonly known, even though it was wrong, that the luchos were rounded.
It fit perfect, right?
Oh yeah, in the Aron, it fit perfectly, and we know the luchot are square because the Aron was square, and it fit exactly into the Aron. And this teaches us, there's a lesson from this, and most things, there are lessons that we can learn from the Torah. And this lesson is that God gives us a certain talent, a unique talent. We're unique. He gives us a soul we have a unique soul, and he gives us this amazing talent, and we shouldn't waste this talent on stupid stuff, and we should reach our full potential.
Yes, sir. Isn't there a misconception that the Jews have horns?
Yeah, that's actually a big misconception, that not anymore really, but before, that Jews had horns. And really, it started from Michelangelo, because he thought when Moshe was coming down with the second pair of luchot, his face was shining bright. It says Quran or Quran, and so it was shining really bright. And then when Michelangelo translated it, because he did that, he learned Torah, it's translated as a very similar word, light and horn. So he translated it as and his face was horned. So that's where it really came from, even though it's obviously not true. And yeah. Why couldn't you handle it?
Why couldn't the Jews handle Moshe's glow on his face?
Because this was because there's two answers. One, because he was holding the luchot, he was very super holy. But there's another answer saying that
hold it.
Yo, selfie time. So it was saying how since we sinned like us, the Jewish people and Moshe were connected on a spiritual level, like on a very connected. They were connected as one. And since we sinned, Moshe sinned, and since we did teshuvah, Moshe did teshuvah. So it's kind of like when you, like, a Baal Tshuva can get on a higher level than a tzaddik, because a Baal Tshuva has to go and fight against a path that the tzaddik doesn't. The tzaddik is already on the right path. He doesn't really have a struggle, but the Baal Tshuva can be on a whole different level because he has such a struggle with it. So it's like this, like since we all did teshuvah and we're all on such a high level, just like we're all like a Baal Tshuva, we had a struggle and we overcame the struggle. We were so spiritual, we were so like connected to God, and Moshe was connected with us, so his face was lighting up very bright. Thank you guys so much for listening to another talk show, Mini Lane talk show. Yes, sir. Thank you, JP, your special guest. But this kid's just so out of it all the time that he literally forgot to talk about the oral Torah. The oral Torah and the written Torah, because there's a difference. Like we wouldn't be able to understand the written Torah without the oral Torah. An example of this would be that in the whole Torah it says that we have to slaughter an animal a certain way, but it doesn't say how. But then if you look in the Chumash, in the oral Torah, it says all the questions and it says how, and then we get answered. So like really, without the written Torah, without the oral Torah, we wouldn't be able to understand the oral Torah.